This episode is brought to you by Starry. When you drink Starry Lemon Lime Soda, every sip is a win. Perfect for game time or anytime. It's a crisp, refreshing lemon lime soda that's caffeine-free and bursting with flavor that makes you go, ah. Starry hits different. Find it in stores or online today.
Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
Wow, that one was really short you just did then.
Did I?
Normally you're like, extra.
Oh, well, maybe it's going to lose my voice a bit.
Yeah, welcome back. We're back again. Rich is still ill from last week.
It still is last week. So I know you're listening to this next week, but we're recording it. Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah. I know what I mean.
So we're past Rich. You got anything you want to say to future Rich?
I hope the new job goes well.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. There you go. Because I start my new job on Monday after this comes out.
the 22nd.
Oh, no. Oh, hang on.
No, the 15th.
The 15th, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Get my
I thought I had the wrong day then.
That's my
it's only the second today.
Welcome everyone. It's it's us again talking about sequels. It's May, and this is a good one. I'm very happy to be. Oh, I'm so excited.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, but Dave's a little bit excited.
God, I'm excited. It is the 40th year anniversary of the greatest Star Wars movie.
Second greatest. Third greatest.
Let me do the introductions. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. It came out 40 years ago, 1982.
3.
Is that my math? 3? Oh, Christ, yeah.
This is not hard maths, mate.
I'm a bit confused. But I'm excited to talk about this one because... it's like I said, it's the best Star Wars film, and I think that's going to ruin when we come to ratings later. But there's a lot of hoo-ha about what is the best Star Wars film and where you would put this in your Star Wars rankings. And Rich, we all know where Rich sits. Empire Strikes Back is his number one
because it is the
but
best.
You're so boring. Be different.
But it's just the best one. You know,
but this one, is this good in your eyes? Is this a better Star Wars than a lot of the other ones?
Oh yeah, of course it is. So Jedi is probably third. I think for me it's Empire, New Hope, Jedi. But it's still great. Completely great. And yeah, the 40th anniversary, really nice to have it back in cinemas. But also, do you know what is extra nice?
God.
Previous guest Matt Ferguson doing the poster.
I love that poster, by the way.
It is such a good poster.
It is gorgeous. I'm trying to convince my wife that we need it on the wall somewhere in my office, but I've kind of run out of space. So I have to take something down or I have to work so around because I want it.
It's a beautiful, beautiful poster. Absolutely.
It's everywhere too.
Yeah, it really is.
They've used it on everything of this anniversary.
It's even
edition.
on Disney Plus.
Is it?
It's the Jedi. It's the Return of the Jedi, screenshotty thing on Disney Plus.
And magic. And I saw this in the cinema again the other day, yesterday, in fact, when I watched it.
Yeah, I didn't because George really wanted to watch it, so we couldn't go to the cinema and watch it. We watched it at home.
That is absolutely fine.
We did what we call a family cinema, and we shut all the curtains.
Magical.
And he had pick a mix.
Now you sent me a message. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah. What was the message I sent you?
What your boy thought of it.
Oh, right. He said that he liked it, but Ewoks are just furry potatoes.
Now, we all know your son's got a terrible taste in movies. So I wasn't going to take that too much to the heart. But I wrote back, Ewoks are the light of my life.
You did. That's true.
But so this is the first time that he's watched Return of the Jedi?
I thought he'd watched it before, but it turns out, yes, it's the first time he's watched it. Certainly he doesn't remember it if he watched it before. So, yeah, it was... I thought he'd seen it, but it turns out not so much.
Cool.
And he was sitting there going, oh, that's in my Where's the Wookiee book. He's got like Where's Wally, but it's like Where's the Wookiee.
Oh, it's down there.
Have you? Yeah, he loves that book. So yeah, he's like, oh, that's in my Where's the Wookiee book, and that's in there too, and like, oh, like, so he was like lots of stuff to.
That's because Wookiees and Chewbacca's are cool.
Yeah, Wookiees, not Ewoks.
Yeah. I was just saying, Wookiees are cool. They're all cool. Everything in Star Wars is cool. Star Wars is cool. I think this was my first ever Star Wars that I remember seeing that made an impact. So not only is it my favourite one, it's the one that made me love Star Wars the most. And I still think the last hour in this is up there with like some of the best cinematic stuff. Like the freeway attack or whatever, however you look at it. It's clever. It's very great. Clever. And lots of films have stolen from it over the years. Before we go any further, Rich, let's give the listeners and me one of your classic Star Wars synopsis.
No.
You should know this one off by hand.
Not off by hand? You mean off by heart?
Yeah. Oh, is that the same?
I do know it off by hand. Oh, it's a 40-year-old movie. I wasn't prepared for this.
Let's start with Star Wars and work our way through.
No, let's not. I tell you what, if you want to know the synopsis, just read the opening crawl and then and stuff happens afterwards. That's it. There you go. That's your synopsis.
I'm going to read you the IMDb one because it's so short. It says, after rescuing Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt, the rebels attempt to destroy the second Death Star while Luke struggles to help Darth Vader back from the dark side.
There you go. Perfect. What do you need me for?
Because I love them and I love how you struggle and you're like, And I thought you'd be able to do this one quite quickly.
Oh, God, no. It's
been a long day.
It's been a long day.
But when this came out, obviously there was only 3 Star Wars films, so this was the end of a trilogy.
Yeah,
I think it does a really good job of wrapping a trilogy up quite nicely. I mean, if you don't want to watch another Star Wars after this, you don't have to, and you can kind of pretend everyone lives in a happily ever after, and Palpatine doesn't somehow return, or stuff like that.
Palpatine's back somehow.
somehow he's back. Quick question: do you think, when you watch this back, do you think that the events of Rise of Skywalker would have dampened your viewing pleasure of this film in any way?
No.
So you can quite easily cut it and be like,
yeah,
compartmentalize the two.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I was worried that the events of Rise of Skywalker had altered people's views of Return of the Jedi. The best Star Wars film, and then obviously the other one is the worst Star Wars film. Attack of the Clone might be worse.
No, it is worse.
Okay, fair enough. What 40 years held up pretty nicely, do you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. Like it wasn't like watching a 40-year-old movie at all. Like, you know, it was very enjoyable, and there was no point when George was like, "Oh, this is a really old movie, though." You know, he's still kind of well into it. Like, you know, it's like may have been released like 4 years ago, not 40.
Yeah, because everything's so good. Like John Williams' score, Ben Burtt's sound design, the visual effects. Like again, the visual effects. There are some bits and you think, ooh, but 40 years. But the last attack on the Death Star still looks amazing. Looks so good.
It does. Admiral Akbar still looks amazing. He's basically like a fish head dude.
I mean, the Sarlacc pit, and obviously the one that we've had to watch for this, the 40-year anniversary, is the cleaned up Blu-ray HD 4K editions. Yeah. So we get Hayden Christensen at the end.
Yeah.
Which my wife had to ask me in the car. I was like, how did they do that? It's like, let me give you a brief lesson what happened here. They made Star Wars in 1983, Return of the Jedi. Then in 97, George Lucas went back and cleaned up a lot of the explosions, added a few scenes, mainly in Star Wars, New Hope, blah, 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 blah. Then when they got released on, I think it was Blu-ray originally, he added in Hayden Christensen as the Force Ghost of Darth Vader or whatever, Anakin Skywalker, and everyone lost their shit.
They did,
which
because it was
quite rightly
stupid.
is stupid. Because I think Luke Skywalker would look at Hayden Christensen and go, "Who's that young fella?"
Yeah, absolutely.
It should have been the man that the mask was off. I think.
Yeah. So which it was. I think was
originally it was. Yes.
Originally, yeah. It wasn't the guy from the Green. It wasn't the Green Cross Code.
No, it wasn't David Prowse.
No.
He was a very tall man.
It was the guy who took the mask off, and then that was
which would have worked fine. But they changed that, and I think that's a bit weird, and it annoys me a little bit weird. But watching Star Wars on a big screen, is
it's like
the best feeling ever.
But Obi-Wan is still,
yes, Alec Guinness.
Still Alec Guinness.
But Alec Guinness does turn up in that film. Yeah, I don't know, Rich. You have to ask George Lucas why this.
Why does Vader get younger when he's a ghost, but Obi-Wan doesn't? Like,
I don't know.
Makes no sense.
Some people have argued that's when he was last good or something. I was like, oh no, at that age he was also cutting down younglings.
Yeah, true.
He was doing some bad things. That was the kind of thing when he's most evil.
Yeah. Yes, interesting. It's an interesting one
and they changed the ending. It was more of a party in Ewok in the Endor, and then in the new one they had parties everywhere. So they had Naboo and Coruscant and stuff like that. And I haven't got a problem with that, to be honest. That added scene in.
I don't care. It's fine.
It's fine.
It makes no odds to the movie, does it?
I mean,
really?
they still got some dancing Ewoks at the end, and I'm still happy with that. And they're still. You think, how do they all get down to that planet for a party? That's a bit weird.
Yeah,
to choose to have the party there.
That is true. Yeah,
but
that's true enough.
Watching it yesterday, apart from 3 pricks that sat behind me, I had a wonderful time.
Oh no! Did you have annoying people?
They literally wanted to talk all the way through it, Rich, until I told them to shut up at one point. And then they shut up for a while, and then they started to whisper really quietly again. And they shut up when the action was happening. But then I thought, I'm going to turn around. But I turned around once, and they were all leaning forward, like enjoying it. And I was like, well, I can't really get angry with them now. I do wish they would stop talking during this, like one of my top 5 films ever. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, what we've got to do, Dave, is we've got to win the Euro Millions, and then we can have our own cinema.
That plays just sequels.
Yeah, it's just sequels that we want to watch.
Yeah. I mean, most things are sequels nowadays. So that would be true. 90% of what is actually out in the cinema now.
Yeah, I did look into it. I looked into like how much it costs to get like cinema releases for your home cinema.
Right.
And you can do it. There are services out there that do it for you, but the cheapest one I found was £65,000 a year. Yeah.
I mean, if we split it, not saying, but guys, can you sign up for another slice / unequal sequel?
Yeah, and you've got to have like top quality home cinema equipment and stuff. You can't just get it on your telly.
Another slice / unequal sequel.com, whatever it is.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So, Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Favorite parts? What bits do you not like? Let's go with favorite first.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So favorite parts. I think like the 3-way battle at the end, obviously, I think is a good bit. I think the start. I really like Jabba's palace and the what's it called?
The Sarlacc pit.
No, before that, the
Rancorn.
The Rancorn. I really like the Rancorn. I really like the guy like crying when the Rancorn's dead.
Yeah,
that's a nice touch. Because even like
that's his
big
pet.
Scary monsters have people that love them. I like that bit. And yeah, I like the Sarlacc pit. Although I do think Boba Fett kind of dies a bit weakly. But as we found out,
He does.
Find out later.
Isn't that weird
didn't
that
die.
that character had such a big following even after Return of the Jedi, and he's literally on screen for a matter of minutes in both this one and Empire. He doesn't do a lot.
Doesn't do a lot at all. No, but I think it's because his toy was really hard to get.
He looked
but
cool
quite
as well.
cool. Yeah, he did look cool. But I think his fans have always wanted the collectors of the toys really want that Boba Fett toy. It wasn't the easiest to track down. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, he's kind of I think he dies in a really lame way though. Like I say, doesn't die though, does he? We found out with the Book of Boba Fett. He gets out. But yeah, I like that bit.
Do you think that because it does have a slower beginning than Empire? Is that way? Maybe because Empire's straight into Hoth. It's okay,
true.
we haven't seen that, and this one we're back on a desert planet.
Yeah.
And it
But
takes a
it's
while
not
to
that
get
slow.
going.
It's sort of it reintroduces the characters all.
That's because
one
it's
at a
got
time,
interesting
doesn't it?
characters.
True. And there was because I was watching it with George, and obviously like I say, may well be the first time he's seen it. And when obviously Leia's been disguised as a bounty hunter, and she takes her helmet off, and he's like, oh, "It's Princess Leia!" He's really excited about that bit.
That's good.
Kind of, yeah.
What about the
cool.
gold bikini?
I mean,
that's a bit pervy now.
He did go, why is she basically naked? I was like, and I was saying to my wife, and she's like, yeah, why is she? And I was like, la 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 la. Oh, look, the ceiling's really interesting.
That was a choice. It's still a choice.
Oh, yeah, of course. Because people that make movies are pervy men.
I really enjoy the Jabba bit, watching it back, and the Sarlacc pit. And I think Jabba is such an interesting and a gross-looking character. And then he has a woman slave that he can't do anything for her, especially with elixir.
Yeah, that's creepy, isn't it? It's just really creepy. Maybe they were predicting the future, and with Harvey Weinstein.
Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
Good point. And then also Lando's there, Calrissian.
Yeah, Lando's there.
All the characters there. They,
yeah,
like you said, they introduced them really nicely. I
do.
think this is the least annoying C-3PO's ever been in any of the films. I think his worth in this film is more than him just. Well, in Empire, he does my head in for most of it, especially when he's on Chewie's back.
Yeah, that's
I like the bits with him on Endor when they think he's a god. And I like his relationship with, obviously, R2-D2, which I loved R2 when I was little. But watching it on the screen yesterday, I was just like, how does he get around Endor? How does R2-D2 get around Endor? Because you never see him use his little jetpacks.
No.
You don't see him use it ever in the original trilogy. And also, how does C-3PO? And he's not very well camouflaged, and he can't bend down and hide.
True. Oh dear, I think you need to just suspend that belief a little bit.
Even if it is, it's still my favourite Star Wars film. I love Luke Skywalker.
So why is it your favourite? What makes it your favourite?
Because I just think it wraps it up so nicely, and it's so fantasy sci-fi. And like I said, the last hour, I think is just brilliant. I think put together when you got those freeway stories, so you have Luke on the Death Star with the Emperor and Darth Vader going for what is quite heavy stuff, like them trying to turn him into the dark side. Then you got Han with Chewie and R2-D2 and C-3PO and Leia on the moon, on Endor, which is a moon, ground control, trying to blow up the whatever it is they're trying to blow up now. The
Force generator, the field generator. The field generator, the force field around the Death Star.
Why do they keep making things so easy to destroy the Empire?
I don't know.
All you have to do is go into the Death Star and blow up this one little thing, and then get the hell out of there. You'd think they would have learnt from the first time of making it. I mean,
wow, that's the thing, isn't it? Is the
at least they put it
Emperor's
inside.
I told you to come here. It's a trap. All your friends are going to die.
I just think and I think the set pieces are good. I love Endor. I love Ewoks. I know a lot of people don't like Ewoks, and I've never been one of those people. And I said, how can you hate
I
something?
don't hate the Ewoks. I think the Ewoks are fine. Yeah.
I'm not having a go at you here, Rich. Don't ever feel like I'm shouting at you. It's the wider community. They're like, oh, they couldn't fight stormtroopers. Well, I'm like, well, did you watch the film? Because they did.
I mean, have you
They Home Alone'd it a lot.
heard of the Vietnam War? when the mightiest military nation in the world was taken down by people with sticks? You know? Like,
This is what I'm talking about. It's all there. And I love that whole scene. And especially when someone started dying, you think, oh, there's real consequences here. I do think watching back, a few more of the core cast maybe should have been put on more peril.
yeah,
If that
true.
makes sense.
True, yeah, I can see
But
that.
if you ask me which character would you put in, I'd be like, I don't want to put any of them. Lando, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe kill Lando.
Maybe.
Don't touch Chewie.
No, we've learnt that.
I mean, Harrison Ford, I think, did want to die in this one. Obviously, they didn't. And I forgot how much he just literally smirks through this film.
He does smirk through this film a lot. Like, true.
But that doesn't annoy me. I don't know. I just love it. I think it's the one I have the most fun with. Like, I think you can watch the Star Wars New Hope, and think it's going on a bit. And Empire is fantastic. It's a 5-star.
I sometimes think this one's going on a little bit.
No, because it's. I was trying to. I was like, I'm
It's
going to.
very long, Dave. It's not a short movie. It's nearly 3 hours long.
It's 2 hours 12 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
No way. It's longer than that.
2 hours 11 minutes.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay.
fuck you, Rich.
I thought it was at least 2.5 hours long.
No. I think it zips along really nicely, especially when the last 45 minutes is that the roundup of everything happening, and everything that happens previously on the fucking speed bikes on Endor. How good is that?
Yeah, I mean that is pretty cool.
They just keep introducing new vehicles for people to buy toys of. And
Well, I wonder why that is.
I mean, the chicken walker things got introduced as well in this one.
The AT-ATs.
Yeah, you thought you couldn't beat the ones that are
AT-ATs,
on Hoth. And Jabba's Palace is all good. And then it starts where I'm not quite sure, maybe a year or two after Han's been carbonated. Frozen.
He's fizzy. He's all fizzy. He's been carbonated.
But it rounds everything up quite nicely. Is there anything
Yeah.
that at the end you think, oh, they haven't done that as well as they should have done?
True. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, every character gets their moment in this film.
Yeah, you're right. And obviously Vader gets his kind of like...
Do you think that's too quick?
Yeah, maybe. Too much of a redemption. You know, he has like... He did kill a load of children.
He did, yes.
Like,
He's done
that
very,
seems to be
very bad
instantly
things.
forgotten. Like, just because he goes, sister.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention the revelation. Yes, Leia's the other twin. That doesn't...
Yeah. It's like, oh, you kissed your sister.
I'm not worried, people. The death of Yoda and Dagobah system.
Yeah, I think for me that's the bit that's a bit like I don't enjoy the death of Yoda bit. I think
Is it because you love Yoda?
no, I just find that whole bit a bit dull and slow, and I was like, yeah, could he just not die off screen or something like?
I can't believe what I'm hearing. That is Yoda.
Yeah, I know, but he's not really Yoda. Oh, he just sort of lies down and dies, doesn't he? He's like, I'm 900 years old. I'm going to die now. Bye.
Yeah, and then he disappears and becomes part of the Force.
Well, yeah, which
And
is
it's beautiful.
what happens with Jedi, it seems.
It is weird that Luke wasn't ready to face Vader like a year before.
Yeah.
And then he's had no
Then
extra
goes
training.
to complete his training, doesn't complete his training because Yoda dies, and then is suddenly ready.
And then Yoda's like, you have to face him again.
Yeah. Like, well, hang on a minute. Make your mind up, mate.
Do I do not fight him?
Do or do not, there is no try.
Beautiful. I liked that the Death Star, I liked that twist. They don't think it's operational. And then it turns out to be operational.
Operational.
And everyone loses their shit. It's a wonderful movie. And I'm so happy they played it again in full cinematic glory, because it never gets. Star Wars is never as good until you watch it on a cinema, so you get to really hear it, that score and the sound effects and the lightsaber going warm.
Yeah. I think the sound effects and the score are possibly the best thing about the movie. All the Star Wars movies, they make it. You know?
Yeah, because there's so many sound effects in those movies, like the ships. You know what I mean? Vader, everything that's going on Endor, the bikes, the little.
Yeah,
it's just a work. It's just a brilliant film, and I think a lot of films have failed where Star Wars have tried, especially a Return of the Jedi kind of film, especially ending trilogies.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, well, Star Wars has failed ending trilogies.
This is what I was saying on the other. I think it was the last episode, that the highs of Star Wars are just like nothing else. It's euphoria.
Yeah,
and then the lows of Star Wars will break your heart and make you question everything you know, and if you love cinema and if you even love Star Wars at all, kind of thing. And was it as good as I remember? And my childhood, was it worth it?
Yeah.
And then you watch this film again, you're like,
so you'd
yes.
put this as number one in your Star Wars?
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just think it's a brilliant film. A lot of that is the film why I love Star Wars so much. I don't remember that impact. I'm pretty sure I did watch the other two before I watched this one.
Okay.
But this is the one I can sit and think, oh, it's so good. Especially as a child. I think this is the most child-friendly.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Which is weird when a lot of bad things kind of happens in it.
Still, the kind of, the Ewoks cute it up enough.
It's down to the Ewoks, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is, I mean, marketing's just genius.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is genius. It is.
Do you want to have a quick game, quickly?
Okay.
We do a higher or lower on Star Wars things. Because on Rotten Tomato, we haven't played that game yet. Rotten Tomato, for some reason, it's only got 100 reviews from critics.
Well,
So
I suppose, Rotten Tomatoes didn't exist in 1983.
No, but you would think over the last few days they would be updated a bit.
True.
Last few weeks.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, right.
So what do you think it got, critics?
88.
83.
Oh, not far off.
Yeah, and audience score?
96.
Oh, you're very close. 94.
Oh. Yeah, not far away.
I'm going to do higher and lower, and
Yeah.
we're only going to do the films.
Only the critics' scores, higher and lower? or...
higher and lower the critics' scores, and
Okay.
then I'm not doing the TV series or anything like that. So we're going to start at Star Wars New Hope. So
Right.
critics, and then I'll tell you
Okay, all right, okay.
I've got to tell you the first one, right? And you got
Yeah, you tell me the first one.
Just remember the game. Bruce
Yeah.
Forsyth. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, 93%. Higher,
93%.
lower, Empire Strikes Back.
Higher.
You're right, 94%. Star Wars Episode 6, higher or lower?
Well, lower,
Then-
because you just tell me it's like
Oh,
83.
I'm an idiot.
So the critics do agree with me there, Dave.
Yeah, that is a much bigger drop-off than I think, and I can't understand why the critics are like that. They should rewatch this one. It's the best one.
Okay, right.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Well, definitely lower. Clearly lower.
It's not a hard game, this, is it?
Am I supposed to guess the numbers?
No, just higher. Lower.
Definitely
51%.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Got to be
higher or
lower again, because that is shit.
You're wrong. 65%.
What? What critics out there are giving... Oh, no. Okay, right.
Okay, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
It's got
Higher
to
or
be,
lower
I'd say a
than
little
65?
bit higher than 65.
79%.
Wow, quite a lot higher.
That's 4%.
That's
less.
4% less than Jedi. You're on drugs, critics. That's nuts.
Okay.
All right, anyway.
Star Wars The Force Awakens. Higher or lower?
Higher, I think.
79%.
People loved this, didn't they?
They did.
But was it audience that loved it, or was it critics? I'm still going higher.
93%.
Okay, good. Right.
Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Yes, I'm doing that.
Oh,
my
Rogue
friend.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Rogue One's possibly my favourite, up there with Empire. So I'm going to go higher.
The 93%.
Yeah.
You're wrong. 84%.
That's wrong. That is wrong.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi, higher or lower than 84%?
Probably. Now, this isn't what I think, but probably lower.
It's higher, 91%.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm going to throw in Solo, a Star Wars story, just to really trip us all up.
Lower.
The 91%.
Lower.
69%.
69%. Right.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
This deserves to be way lower than 69 because it sucks.
You're
So
right. It's 52%.
Good.
But that makes it also 1% better than The Phantom Menace. Now, looking over all these films...
The Phantom Menace is better. I'm sorry. It is. Rise of Skywalker is bottom of the pile as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
The audience score of the original trilogy are A New Hope is 96, Empire Strikes Back is 97, and The Return of the Jedi is 94. Okay. It's a very much loved trilogy. Is it the best trilogy ever? Yes, I think it is. Maybe not start Lord of the Rings. I can't remember what I said in our other ones, top 3 trilogies ever. It's definitely up there, and the other 3 are not. I love Return of the Jedi. I really do, and I totally understand that you think it maybe is possibly very close second. No,
I think it's
I'm
third.
trying to put words in your mouth.
It's third.
But still very good in aspects of films.
I mean, if you're including Rogue One, I think it's fourth.
Oh, let's not do that then. This is getting more hurtful.
Because I think it's Empire, Rogue One, New Hope, Jedi.
Man, guys, send in your rankings of Star Wars and we'll see what madness we'll get into. Because I think everyone's got different opinions about Star Wars.
Yeah, tell us your opinions.
Yeah. Quick rating. 7 out of 7?
No.
Fucking average. You're not playing ball at all
6
today.
out of 7 for me.
Okay.
6 out of 7. Yeah. And then New Hope is 6.5. Rogue One is 6.5. And then Empire is a 7 out of 7.
I mean, whenever it gets to us picking our top sequels ever, well, I think we should film it. It'll just be me and you shout at each other about bloody Star Wars films. Anyway, yes, we want to hear from what people say. So send in your correspondence, please.
Yeah, get in touch. If Twitter still exists, we are there. We're also on Instagram, at Unequal Sequel on both of those. Or you can send us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Go back and give them to all our other episodes to listen if you haven't done already. Hit that like and subscribe button whilst you're there. And if you fancy writing us a little review, we'd love that. If you want even more of us, you can find us on anotherslice.com/unequal sequel. And yeah, send us what you think. We'll read it out in our end of month roundup episodes. So make sure you tune in and catch those as well. We will be back with an announcement on Series 5 next week.
God, you're very optimistic about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sticking with next week.
All right. God help us. Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for all agreeing that Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars.
No one agreed with that.
I can hear through there's voices calling out.
You're using the Force, are you, mate?
Agreeing with me. Yeah. Oh, man, I used to try and do that so much when I was younger. That Return of the Jedi is the best sequel. Not best sequel, best Star Wars film.
Okay.
This is never going to end. And I'm so happy. I don't know if it's on at the cinema anymore. I think it was like a 3-day event.
Yeah.
So hopefully you got to see it in all its like glory, because it's absolutely gorgeous to see out there again. And it annoys me that they don't, I think it's LucasArts or Disney, don't allow smaller cinema chains to show Star Wars films, even like the Prince Charles and stuff like that. So hopefully one day they'll open it up a bit more and Star Wars will play regularly on the big screen, because I think everyone should deserve to see these kind of films on the big screen. I love it when they play old films on the big screen. So hopefully that happens. I've got nothing else to say, Rich. You got anything to say?
Nope. No, I'm all done.
No, please just send in everything. We want to hear from you. Season 5 is coming. We promise it is coming. It is a labour of love, this one. So it's a bye-bye from me. And it is a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one, which is a sequel to this one. Have you ever showed George the Caravan of Love, whatever it is, the Ewok film?
No, I haven't done that.
I'm really considering watching them again.
Yeah, I might.
And I haven't watched them for
suggest it to him.
years. I remember watching them when I was very little. I think some of my friends had it on VHS, and I haven't gone back to them because I think they're crap.
Pretty sure they are crap, yeah.